either, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and friends, and I've got a couple of sister-in-laws that were very, very good to me as well. So family support from my husband's side was very, very good. I have a sister, but yeah, and my mum, they sort of, I get on with them, but it's always about them. And so it's not, it's when I'm not close to them,
No.
So I don't ask them for support because they never give it anyway. So
No. So but you get it from the other side of the family.
Yes,
Yeah. So can I ask you, Teresa, in relation to breast cancer, have you thought about what you'd like to see from new treatments? Have you got any ideas?
No, I have none at all.
What about something like availability, like being able to have it in Rockhampton rather than going to Brisbane?
Yes, well, that would have been a lot better, but we do have it in Rocky now.
You do, okay. Oh,
because when I was diagnosed and at the surgeon, he said you're probably a couple of years too early. He said because they just had been approved to put out radiation so that people can have radiation here now in Rockhampton.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that'll be right.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about things like information? I know you sort of touched on, you don't really sort of, I suppose, know where you stand, but were there any specific topics that weren't covered in information that you were given or was discussed with you?
The only thing is, I always wondered why some people have chemotherapy and some people don't.
Yeah.
You know, like I know people with breast cancer have had the surgery, radiation and chemo, and what's the difference? Why, like, even though I didn't need it, or apparently I didn't, why didn't I need it compared to the lady in the chair next to me? Do you know what I mean? Like, to be explained to, and I, like, maybe they don't do that because, well, I didn't need it, but still,
it would have been helpful.
Is it something that should be offered to everybody? Because I don't know much about chemotherapy. So is it something that should be offered to everyone, or is it just offered to certain people, or what is the reasoning of having it or not having it, if you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah. So, sort of following on from that, would you sort of categorise part of your answer to that one to anything you'd like changed in relation to the way health professionals communicate with patients?
Just more information, probably, and why, what the treatment that you're getting, why you're getting that treatment, and as to why you're not offered something else, if you know what I mean. Like, so we're going to do this, but the reasoning is because of this, this, and this. Yeah.
And have you thought anything about what you'd like to see from future care or support? So, I mean, there might be, organisations or hospital clinics or charities that are sort of linked in with people with breast cancer. Have you thought anything about what you'd like to see them, give breast cancer patients?
Well, the Pink Hope, you've heard of that, I presume.
Yeah.
Is very, very good. I actually did a fundraising day and raised nearly $2,000 for that.
Very good.
And then I've also done 2 golf charity days out where I used to work to raise money for breast cancer as well. This is all since my diagnosis. The breast care one, where the golf ones, they were really good. They sent me all the stuff that I needed, and they were very helpful. So that was really good. And they kept in touch all the time, and I still get letters from them now to see if I want to do it again, but obviously I don't work where I did, so it's a bit hard.
But having done that for those organisations, what do they do for people with breast cancer? I mean, have you got any ideas about what you'd like them to do for people like you?
Probably more support. someone to talk to. Yeah, and more information available.
Yeah. No, that sounds like on the right track. Yeah.
Yeah, and that everything doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, well, you can tell me that in a minute. So what advice or tips would you give to other patients and families that are affected by breast cancer? So, it might be just general advice or something in particular that you've tried that worked well for you.
Well, one thing is listen to your own body. Don't overdo things. Listen to what your body is telling you. If you're tired, have a sleep. Don't try and be running around like you used to, because it is very hard to start, after operations and radiation and everything else like that. And if people want to offer you help, take it. It's not that you're you're useless, but you do need the help. I found it very hard sometimes to take the help, but it was like, no, sit down, we'll do it. So, and try and read as much as you can and get as much information as you can.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no. And what would your message be to people who make decisions about the type of treatment and care that people like you have access to? So we're talking about like people in the government or the health department or your doctors or, healthcare workers. What would you like to say to them?
More information. And the treatment that you're offered, why you're having that treatment, the reasoning and why you're not having other ones, or, or are there different options? Like I said, when I went to my surgeon and he got my results mixed up with someone else and said that I had to have a mastectomy.
Yeah, that wasn't very helpful.
No, and then 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, this is Cross, that's not you, sorry, I got mixed up. And I was like, my daughter and my husband and I were all on the floor nearly. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, dear, it's gone now. What was the question, sorry?
Well, just what would your message be to people, the decision makers or the people that sort of control the services or have the money to provide the care and support that people like you need?
To make sure that they have actually read your results properly and they give you the correct recommendations and it's not, like I know you go into a doctor and they say, oh yeah, we'll send you away for this, but when it's something like that, I feel that they should be a little bit more advisable, that they can say, well, this is what's going to happen and this is going to happen and we're going to follow up with this. Just be a bit more informative. I feel, as in with the treatment, where you have to go, why you have to go. And to get the government to, help with the cost, because it's just, it's not, it's very expensive. And, because you're suffering, it's a major health scare or operation or whatever, and then financially, and then so your whole world is falling apart, literally, and you're trying to get treatment to fix yourself, but 80% of your mind and body and everything is at home thinking, how am I going to pay my bills? Or how am I going to pay for this doctor here? Or how am I going to pay for this accommodation? And, I'm not going to, there was one, when we were down in Brisbane for radiation, we were down there for 3 weeks and we had to stay in accommodation. And the accommodation that we got was, we couldn't cook in the room because even if we cooked a piece of toast, the alarm went off and we were going to be charged a heap of money. So we had to eat out every day. And there were some days there where I said to my husband, we can't go and have that because we don't have the money. There were some times where we just had to go and eat one little thing and we had to share it because we just couldn't afford it. Because, I wasn't working, so I wasn't getting paid. My husband, he used all his sick leave up for it. And that's the worst thing is, in the back of my mind was, if he got sick, what are we going to do then?
That's right.
That's right, because he used it all up and everything.
So that certainly is something that needs to be addressed. It
does, and the government's got a lot to answer for